Okay, let's forget about all the quick fixes and the motivational hype for a minute. Today, we're diving into something different, a really powerful blueprint for your life called Root to Rise. Think of it as a way to see your own personal growth not as some goal you have to chase, but as a whole interconnected ecosystem that you manage. And this, right here, reframes everything from the get-go. You know that feeling of being stuck? Well, the Root to Rise model says that feeling isn't some kind of personal failure. Nope. It's a diagnostic signal. It's like a warning light on your dashboard, telling you that one part of your life's ecosystem is undernourished, and it's affecting the whole system. So, where do we even start with this? Well, the first principle is foundational, literally. There's a reason it's called root to rise. You know, just like a tree can't reach for the sky without a strong, deep root system, we can't get to any kind of lasting growth without first making sure we're stable. So the focus at first isn't on rising, but on digging in and securing our base. This really captures the whole idea, doesn't it? I mean, how often do we try to just leap forward, to rise, without even checking if our foundations are solid? This framework tells us to flip that instinct on its head. The goal is to build that foundation so securely that rising just becomes this natural next step, not a constant struggle. So what are these foundations exactly? The framework points to 5 main structural roots: your physical and mental health, your connection to your family, your core intimate relationships, your career or whatever your calling is, and, of course, your social circle of friends. These are the big pillars holding everything else up. And this is our first chance to do a little self-diagnosis. So as you look at these 5 roots, which one feels a bit weak or neglected for you right now? Is there maybe a problem in your career that's quietly poisoning your health or your friendships? Figuring out that source, that's the critical first step to getting the whole ecosystem back in balance. Okay, so we've got the structural roots down, but what do they actually grow in? That's what this next part is all about, nourishing the soil. We're talking about your inner, emotional environment, the very ground that either feeds or starves your entire system. Wow, what a question, right? It just gets straight to the heart of it. You can have all the outward signs of success, the great career, the perfect-looking relationship, but if your inner emotional needs aren't being met, the whole thing is just brittle. It's all curb appeal with a garden that's wilting inside. So what makes for healthy soil? Well, pulling from thinkers like Tony Robbins, the framework breaks it down into 6 core psychological needs. At the very bottom, we need to feel safety and love or connection. From there, we need a sense of significance, that we actually matter. And to really thrive, we need growth, a feeling of contribution beyond ourselves, and that all-important balance between variety and stability. And here we are at our next diagnostic question. Looking at those 6 needs, which one are you maybe running on fumes in right now? Is it a deep need for more connection? Is your need for growth just being totally ignored? Pinpointing this is like a farmer figuring out exactly which nutrient the soil is missing. It's super targeted and incredibly powerful. So our roots are stable, our soil is nourished. We must be ready for growth, right? Well, not so fast. This next piece of the framework is a really sharp critique of our modern hustle culture. It basically argues that real growth isn't about adding more stuff, it's about intelligent pruning. I absolutely love this. The key point here is that real growth isn't always about adding more tasks, more goals, more effort. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is strategic subtraction. Like a gardener who prunes a plant to direct its energy, encouraging healthier, more vibrant growth. So what does this pruning actually look like in our lives? Well, it's about intentionally letting go of what's not serving you anymore. This could be dissolving old beliefs you have about what you're capable of, or refining your personal and professional boundaries. It might mean renegotiating the roles you play in your family or at work, and maybe even recalibrating your goals to match who you are today. And this brings us to the final, really powerful result of this whole model. Once your roots are stable, your soil is rich, and you've pruned away all the dead weight, what happens? You get the rise. And the critical thing is, it's not something you force. It's something that just emerges naturally from a healthy system. Just sit with that for a second. This question gets to the very core of what the rise is all about. When your internal ecosystem is healthy and balanced, your natural, authentic self finally has the space to come through. All the blockages are gone. So what happens then? The result is what the framework calls truth-wearing boots, your authentic self finally able to just walk out into the world totally uninhibited.
And this isn't just about feeling good. This is where real creativity, genuine expression, and the foundation of a meaningful legacy are actually born.
So what's the big takeaway here? Why does this model feel so different from everything else out there? It's because this isn't just fluffy inspiration. It's architecture. It's a serious, psychologically informed system for understanding a human life. And it goes way beyond generic self-help advice.
And this slide just illustrates the difference perfectly. We all know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? It's this universal pyramid that applies generally to pretty much everyone. Root to Rise, on the other hand, is a personalized ecosystem. It's not just a generic map, it's a diagnostic tool designed for your specific life, right here, right now.
And this is just the perfect image to leave you with. Maslow gives us the essential scaffolding, the basic structure. But Root to Rise, that helps you build, diagnose, and truly furnish the unique, living home that is your life. It's a framework that has a deep respect for the complexity of being human, which really just leaves you with one question to think about. Which part of your ecosystem needs attention first?